Senator Menendez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, thank you for coming today. Before I start my questions, I want to urge your staff at CMS to carefully consider the request of the entire bipartisan New Jersey delegation to extend the imputed rule floor. This is critical to New Jersey hospitals. Both Democratic and Republican administrations have extended it, and I hope that you will have your staff pay some critical attention to it. CMS predicts prescription drug price growth in 2018 will be double what it was in 2017, contrary to the President's pronouncement that there would be a, quote, voluntary massive drop in prices in early June. And one of the reasons that we are not seeing reduced prescription drug prices is because some bad actors continue to game the system to prevent cheaper drugs from coming to market. In fact, the FDA recently named and shamed some of the worst actors who were deliberately blocking the development of cheaper generic drugs. Congress is working to pass the CREATES Act, which is a bipartisan bill that would go after the abuse of some companies that are preventing cheaper drugs from coming to market. Does the administration support the CREATE Act?
So, Senator, we don't have a formal administration support on it, but obviously what's in the CREATES Act resonates completely with what we have been saying and what FDA has been doing to prevent the very abuses that you have correctly laid out there.
Well, I hope that the administration can come to a formal position. It's bipartisan legislation. It does exactly what the President's blueprint said he sought to do by ending bad actors in the pharma world. Let me ask you, after the FDA named and shamed on May 17th, have there been any behavioral changes by these companies?
I don't know if there has been any change. Let me check with Commissioner Gottlieb on that and get back to you if that's okay. We put out 2 guidances as a follow-up to that, also making clear that they should not be able to hide behind our regulatory processes to protect safety. That was part of the follow-on to that. But if I could get back to you to see if we've seen any greater access.
Would you commit to working with me and my colleagues in a bipartisan way to ensure customers see generics come quickly and safely to the market as possible?
Absolutely. In fact, I would love to hear from you as you learn of abuses in the system or entities that are manipulating patent processes. Please consider an open door for any input or pointing us to those.
I appreciate that. Are you familiar with the Reducing Drug Waste Act of 2017, also bipartisan legislation?
I am not, Senator. I'd be happy.
I'd like to call it to your attention. This is including members of this committee who have joined together because the HHS Office of Inspector General found millions of dollars in waste due to drug packaging.
Yes. I'm sorry. You did mention this to me in the conference. I'm sorry, but I have not learned enough of the detail on that. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Well, this is a bipartisan legislation. The senator from Iowa and Senator Klobuchar and many others on a bipartisan basis are looking at this as a way to stop the basically waste of drug as a result of drug packaging. So I ask you to look at that as